What a year it has been for Rwanda. With an impressive 9.2% economic growth, full recovery from the pandemic, and thriving sectors driving progress, 2024 was truly transformative. Tourism soared, driven by the dynamic MICE industry, while agriculture flourished with new investments and innovation. The entertainment and culture scene thrived, and cross-border trade reached unprecedented heights, promising significant regional impact. Join me, Eric Cheka, as we explore the highlights of 2024 and uncover how Rwanda's economy achieved remarkable growth. This is Doing Business in Rwanda. Starting with investments, Rwanda Day brought together the Rwandan diaspora in North America to Washington, D.C. to explore opportunities back home. Attendees also received an in-depth overview of Rwanda's economic performance in 2023.
The year 2020 and the year 2021 are probably the only years in the recent history of Rwanda that we saw negative growth, or let me say, a decline in our economic growth for the first time. But when the pandemic was defeated, our government had some strategic interventions, including a recovery program to support and give a new stimulus package to struggling companies that had suffered immense damage during COVID, particularly those in the services sector, like the hospitality sector, travel and tourism, transport, in education, and others. When COVID ended, it meant that the economy was able to begin. And in 2022, I'm happy to report that immediately after the defeat of the pandemic, we had an economic growth of over 8.2%. This was followed by an equally robust growth in 2023 of over 9.2%. And by all projections, we are up to a good start in 2024 to resume the trend that was interrupted in 2020 so that we can continue the same trajectory of our positive, sustained growth of the Rwandan economy. Our country has, over the last few decades, been investing in infrastructure, looking far to develop new sectors of economic foundations, particularly those in the hospitality sector, that gave an opportunity for our economy to rebound immediately and quickly. It's not surprising that the tourism sector was the first to grow and get business back, even though it is the one that had suffered the most. Thanks to the investments in the Kigali International Convention Center, thanks to the investments in the various hospitality facilities by private investors, thanks to the investments in the new sports platforms, particularly the now famous BK Arena and others that have provided platforms for diversifying from the previously well-known and liked leisure and wildlife tourism to conferences, to meetings, and sports tourism. This has meant that today, as we speak, the tourism sector is performing 15% better than it was in 2019 prior to the COVID pandemic. The agriculture sector has rebounded most recently with productivity, but also diversifying the different products available, both for the domestic market as well as for international export. where our tea and coffee were always well known and liked on international markets. Today, thanks to investments in international cargo aviation, Rwandan fresh fruits and vegetables, flowers, and others are reaching international markets on just-in-time delivery basis.
I'm from Rwanda. When I started the company and it was doing well here in the US, I was thinking of ways, that I can give back. I was given a lot. I was given a lot. I was the first in my family line to ever go to college. And the government of Rwanda, through the vision of our president, His Excellency Paul Kagame, created an opportunity for a kid like me to get an education in California, US. And I've taken that opportunity to run with it. God blessed me. Other people helped along the way. I'm thinking, how can I give back? So we are in Rwanda because we want to give back. We want to give employment opportunities to college graduate kids. That is one aspect. The other aspect, this is not a charity, by the way, it's a business. So this is a for-profit operation. So why go to Rwanda, not Zambia or Nigeria or Kenya, or another country? For the business to work, you need an enabling environment, and Rwanda has created that. So nobody in RDB or anybody recruited me to bring my business there, but I saw what they did, and I'm a businessman. I'm running a business that is profitable, that is impacting people's lives. So we saw the environment was there, the talent was there. So we connected talent with opportunities that we had. So now we see those seeds growing, and hopefully we can grow them even further to provide actual energy on the African continent. So we invested over $1.1 million US in less than 12 months. That difference there, we acquired the land, and we want to use that land to build demonstration projects for solar, batteries, resources, infrastructure to demonstrate to the Rwandan ecosystem, businesses, government officials, and the regulators that solar energy, when done properly, could be the solution not only for Rwanda, but also for the African continent. And we think, because that enabling environment I talked about, we think this is a successful demonstration that, by the way, we want to complete by the end of this year. For us, we move fast. We get things done. We are biased, and one of our core values is we get things done, which means we have a bias for action anchored in our vision. So we move fast. When we know what to do, we move very fast. So by the end of this year, one of those demonstration projects operational, and then with that enabling environment, we hope those successful projects will demonstrate the potential for solar, batteries, storage technologies coupled with ICT, smart meters, software engineering, monitoring capabilities to make sure we can monitor those resources anywhere on Earth. And we wanted to scale them to supply, to add to the capacity of Rwanda energy resources, whether on grid or off grid. Of course, those are the future aspirations, but we hope those successful projects, we can use them as a launch pad. And we've seen how Rwanda enables that to happen, for us to move those projects into other neighboring countries and the countries on the African continent as a whole.
Back home, RDB, in partnership with the Nyagatare district, highlighted exciting investment opportunities in the region. Nyagatare, Rwanda's second largest district, shares borders with two countries, boosting cross-border trade and economic activity.
Out of 30 districts we have in the country, Nyagatare is the most connected district in terms of connection between the district and other countries. It shares borders with two countries, United Republic of Tanzania and Uganda. And when you look at interconnectivity, the road network, Nyagatare can connect to the northern province. It can also connect through the eastern province to the city of Kigali. And through the northern province, it can also connect to west. And through Kigali, it can also connect to the southern province. So Nyagatare can be a business hub in terms of connectivity, infrastructure which is available. It also has potential for investment because Nyagatare is known for the best place in Rwanda for farming, both the livestock and farming. Nyagatare has industries, agro-processing industries, like milk powder plant, which has been established and has the capacity to process all the milk that is produced in the country. We have established industrial parks. If you want to invest, it's very easy to know where to invest because we do the zoning and master plan, and you are sure of what you are going to do for sustainability of your business. Secondly, we have one-stop center. In terms of business registration, you don't have to go around looking for different institutions to facilitate you. You just go to one-stop center of Rwanda Development Board and you get all the services for your business registration. We have a list of incentives. You can enjoy tax holidays for a given period of time, depending on the sector you are investing in. We have preferential tariff, electricity preferential tariff. We call them industrial tariff for investors in manufacturing. And we have many more other facilities that we put in place to facilitate you to build the capacity in order to reach the standard requirement for the market. If you look at it from government facilitating an investment, I can say government has been hand-holding investors to take them to the market, to the extent that the government also allows you to access the market. Even if we know Rwanda has joined a number of free trade areas, we have made Rwanda a global market from 13 million people to the global market, to the African market of 1.4 billion people and even beyond Africa. So Rwanda can give you access to any market.
I think for both the local and foreign investors, what RDB has done over the past years is really to have ease of doing business, creating an environment where you can easily register your business, where you can find consolidated information about the different sectors, where the opportunities are, and some structure in terms of information that can help investors pump money into the economy, into the different sectors that we've identified through the NSD2. Now, I think particularly when it comes to local investors, the sentiment is that there hasn't been a lot of engagement with them. Hence, these investment forums that we've started with our local districts. And the hope is that we can start within the local, within the districts themselves and show the opportunities across the country. So as the institution, we think it's important that we go beyond the city, especially some of the secondary cities that have been identified as on the rise, and Nyagatare being amongst the top two. So we thought it was important to reassure our local investors that we're also a gateway for them to the opportunities that are available across the country. And what we've seen today is that there's appetite for information, there's appetite for investing in the country, and especially now starting within this district. I think it was important to share the information You can tell that a lot of these data, this data that we've collected is only maybe sitting within a few offices. So sharing that with the local businesses, local business owners, the different institutions that are present here, and aspiring investors. So we wanted to make sure that we disseminate that information and share the opportunities that are available for investments.
Still in Nyagatare, the agriculture sector experienced notable growth, particularly in the dairy industry. The launch of a $54 million dairy plant further strengthened the sector, cementing its dominance in the region.
We started as a Nyanje producing defense products. It was the milk, juice and water. Almost in 2010 they were almost the same. But through this initiative of the government, they have put on initiatives through one cow per family, building the infrastructure, milk collection centers, organizing the farmers. So we realized the milk volume has been increasing. With the last 10 years, the milk was almost contribute 64% compared to other products. So even they go beyond the capacity, the current capacity which Nyanja has been having. So strategically in 2020, we looked at there's the opportunity to grow the factory, more especially on the dairy, because we have seen the farmers has been understanding it's a business and behind on it. Again, the government has put a lot of the efforts, and there's an opportunity in terms of business. We have realized there's a business not only internally, in Rwanda, even on the export market, because of already in the export markets. That's why strategically the ideas comes, let us expand more, almost to 10 times compared to the current capacity which has been having, to ensure we consume that milk and we expand our markets. We are in Kenya, we are in Burundi, we are in Congo, we are in South Sudan, we are Oman, on ghee. The opportunity is there. Yeah, that's why we said let's expand it and continue growing our markets in African countries, because there's opportunities, because there's been in Central Africa, we are in Gabon. There's a very big opportunity, more especially in African countries.
Ghee is particularly a good product for export. We are able to export it in big drums, and we have ready markets in countries such as Saudi Arabia, Egypt, and many of other Asian countries. This is a product that is loved and preferred by many people who are looking for a substitute for cooking oil in terms of when they look at it from the health and nutritional perspective of it. The other product that we make that is long known under Nyanja Industries is UHT milk. With our new line at Nyanja Milk Powder Plant, we are able to maximize our production capacity. Basically, it was put in as an expansion arm for the existing line at Nyanja Industries Masaka. And with that, we are able to put the product on the local market, but also sustain the markets for our farmers.
Rwanda continues to position itself as a hub for innovation. The Gen Farm project, launched in partnership with Volkswagen and Rika, promises to revolutionize Africa's agricultural sector by leveraging cutting-edge technology. The initiative aims to empower farmers and transform rural development.
Gen Farm project is a partnership between Volkswagen and Rika to look into the potential viability of electric tractors for farmers in Rwanda. And it's a very exciting concept. Volkswagen brought their first prototype to Rika a few years ago, and we've been testing it for a few years to see if it's a viable piece of technology, and the initial tests have been very successful. So today they brought a new generation of electric tractor to campus for us to continue testing the viability of that technology for practical, profitable farming in Rwanda.
Within the Volkswagen Group Africa, Rwanda is sort of the innovation hub where we try new ideas. And we introduced electric tractors in a general context called Gen Farm, whereby the charging station for the electric tractors will also be a hub where farmers can have post-harvest storage facilities. They can have access to shops. So it's sort of a hub, we call it empowerment hub. And we think that this is the future for rural development, whereby we are going to harness solar power to offer energy where energy is lacking, but also to offer mechanization to African farmers in general.
From research, it has been revealed that about 90% of energy converted into mechanical work. For e-tractors, it is very nice that it uses that 90% of electric energy into mechanical work, but which is bad for conventional tractors because they only use 10% of the energy, and you can feel that those 90% are going to be emitted in atmosphere.
Here at RICA, we are into conservation agriculture. We have already did our best to establish demonstration plots, extension centers around the country. And this time, with the introduction of electric tractors, it is going to be more, it's going to provide us with more resources to go deep into climate change in a combination with conservation agricultural practice.
The conventional tractors have a lot of moving parts, which is different from the e-tractors. So as they have a lot of moving parts, they need the constant maintenance, which is different from the electric tractors. So these electric tractors, as they don't have moving parts, they ease the cost, which is one thing we want to do. We want to minimize the cost to increase the profits. And another thing is that they have zero emission compared to the conventional tractors. And now that we have them, we hope that we are going to have the reduced costs and also protecting the environment, as it is our main goal.
Closely tied to agriculture, trade played a pivotal role in Rwanda's economic growth. The AfCFTA summit underscored the importance of greater trade cooperation among nations, removing tariffs and creating new opportunities for regional integration.
Strategy of value chains is a big strategy, because it's not everyone who will directly trade with a neighboring country or a country afar on the continent. We are talking of value chains, creating an ecosystem, having aggregators, trading companies that can source from those SMEs owned by women, by youth, and otherwise, and really go through, like create a pipe for those in the downstream to also indirectly reach to the market. So that value chain strategy is one, and we are also putting in place digital platforms that can be accessed in partnership with providers of such services, so that you can trade online, supported by payment systems that we are advocating and partnering with the private sector to make interoperable, so that you can take your goods, you can order an item from any other country, from Ghana, from Tunisia, where you're sitting in your comfort zone in your home, and then you can be able to trade. Those are the things that we are also coming up as strategies to leapfrog the borders that are still not well connected in terms of roads, in terms of railway, in terms of air line, and all of that is not yet developed like to the level we wish, or to the level of affordability that we would have. But we are pushing to leapfrog, while we are also working on the free movement of people. We are still struggling with that, but I'm sure that we'll get there.
ESC, for example, like you were asking earlier, one of the things that we had said is domesticate air travel. What do we mean by this is today, fortunately, there's no barrier in terms of restriction of people, movement of people in East Africa. Or there's little barrier, let me say little barrier, not no barrier. But domesticating air travel is becoming a very difficult sell, and it shouldn't be. My argument has always been people in East Africa, if you took East Africa as a region or sub-region, want to travel, they want to trade. Now, either they will travel or trade without aviation, or they'll travel trade with aviation. It's going to make it easier for them to trade if you domesticate air travel. So the cost of the passenger air service charge will come down significantly to less than 10% of what we're currently charging. And that way you will travel more between two different nations and trade more for that matter.
Rwanda hosted various business forums, including Rwanda-UK Business Forum, the Poland-Rwanda Business Forum, and the Zimbabwe-Rwanda Business Forum. This event laid groundwork for strengthening trade and investment ties between the participating nations.
We are preparing for the signing of the MOU with the Ministry of ICT. We really are impressed what Rwanda is doing with the establishing the drone operational center, with the building the capacity and the capability in this sector, and we'll be very happy to sign the MOU and start our partnership. And it will be also very important step for our company of our presence in the whole region, with the great engineers here, with the great potential, with the great also focus of your government to the drone sector. We can really together make amazing things. There is a huge impact of your government to build a presence in Europe and build visibility of the Rwanda as a very interesting market for the European investors. And what we see is that the drones will be only growing in East Africa. And we would like to, partnership with that. We would like to be present from the very beginning. Rwanda has like 9 years, I think, of the presence of the drone of the market. It's very unique. Even our company starts like 3 years ago. So you really have already experience that can help us to build company here and build our presence.
And right now we're searching for partners in East and Mid African countries. We are really encouraged by our government, our national banking as well, and insurance companies. And that's why we are here. Frankly speaking, it is my first time in Rwanda. I found your country really mesmerizing.
We buy a lot of food products from Rwanda. It's mainly coffee and tea. I believe we are looking for other options. It's worth mentioning that Rwanda has a special status. All the imports from Rwanda to European Union are tax-free, so it's a special privileged situation which we can benefit from. Rwanda is a very good country to invest because it's safe, because it's clean, it has a growing infrastructure from one side, and from the second you really have a lot of needs that we could satisfy, and I believe we have good solutions which are not overly expensive, so we can deliver good products in a good price, in a competitive price if you compare it with other countries in Europe. I believe we have also cultural similarities. We were never a colonizing country, so there is no historical burden that would trouble our relationships. So I believe we can cooperate also with this perspective. And also the agriculture is one of our strong industries. And I think Rwanda is also able and to receive some of our knowledge and experience and really implement it here with benefits for both sides.
We are seeing a great number of businesses from Zimbabwe opening operations in Rwanda and vice versa. We have seen our bilateral trade increase more than 58% since the first version of the Rwanda-Zimbabwe Business Forum. And we have seen the movement of people continue to grow. The Zimbabwean professionals coming to work in Rwanda in various professions, particularly in education, in ICT, in finance, and others. Increasing in large numbers. Rwanda, of course, is open to many Africans as tourists, but also for doing business. Mm-hmm. And this is being demonstrated here today. Yeah. So the event is really a platform for both ways. Rwandan businesses are keen to learn about opportunities for doing business in Zimbabwe and vice versa. And so for Rwanda, we are showcasing opportunities that we have in finance, for example, the Kigali International Finance Center. We are showcasing the opportunities that it provides for international finance companies to domicile and work in Rwanda. We are showcasing tourism cooperation between tour operators in Rwanda and Zimbabwe to target international tourists that come to both destinations. We are building partnerships where tour operators put packages that combine both destinations. We are looking at agriculture and agro-processing, a sector where both countries have got enormous experience that can leverage off of each other. So far, over the last 2 years, we have seen Zimbabwe companies establish operations here in Rwanda, whether it's in dairy or in fruit and vegetable production and processing. We are keen to leverage all those in energy, ICT, digital businesses, fintech, and other forms of technologies. So there is a great opportunity here, and businesses are going to be looking for their own opportunities. You know, when interactions begin, they see opportunities where you and I would not see an opportunity for business. Mining is one sector that Rwanda sees an opportunity to partner with Zimbabwe, particularly focusing on expertise. As you know, Zimbabwe has for many years, longer than Rwanda, established strong training institutions for mining professionals, whether it's geologists, mining engineers, environmentalists, processing, and other types of professions in geosciences. And as we continue to grow further the mining sector in Rwanda, the demand for expertise increases. We aim to professionalize mining, and to grow the capacity of professionals is very key. So yes, mining sector is a very important one for the two countries to collaborate on. Yeah. As you have witnessed, the growth of ICTs has been really as an enabler to change the way business is done in other sectors. And so as we attract businesses in this sector here in Rwanda, we are looking at the intersection of ICT with other sectors, whether it's in agriculture, whether in fintech, whether it's in trade generally, online trading, and other opportunities. So we are not seeing ICT as a sector, a standalone sector, but rather as a technology platform that can be leveraged to add value to other sectors that traditionally has not had an interaction with modern technologies. Well, Rwanda flies almost daily to Harare, and that makes it a lot easier to move between our two countries. And with a no visa requirement to travel to Rwanda, that makes it even easily accessible.
So just start on services. I think it's a key feature. If you recall, we managed to also have about 150 teachers come through here, and that's an export of a service, which is quite good. And we've had a number of companies, especially very strong in that. At one point, we're the biggest exporter in Africa of the same. And the good thing is we have a very good geographical location to that. Our weather makes our goods for horticulture very, very unique. And most of our exports are going to Europe and the UK. So there's massive potential on the same. If you recall, a couple of weeks ago, there was the issue of our blueberry market growing. I don't know if you know blueberries. Yes. It's a superfood, high nutrition, low in calories, so it's a hit. So if you want to eat very fresh, organic, and good blueberries, come to Zimbabwe. You will not regret it. But also, that goes without saying, our citrus, mashed in sugar snap peas, macadamia, just to mention a few, it's a place to be. So we are trying to work out the logistics and cargo to make sure that we lend the goods competitively here in Rwanda for us to export. As we speak right now, about 85% of our exports for fresh produce go to Europe. So I'm saying Rwanda is just next door. Sure. And we've got flights, Rwanda Air flies there. So why don't we take advantage of the cargo space that is available, and we grow from there? Alluding to the fact that we've got a number of our Zimbabweans who are here, who are also assisting in the same. In Zimbabwe, we've got a School of Mining, and also our universities are very strong in terms of that. So there's much that can happen between the two of us. And remember, we also got a growing and thriving mining sector. I think our target is to achieve 12 billion as a mining sector. So a lot has been happening, and that has been done by the resources in terms of our people that have been there. If you want to come to a country with skilled labor, come to Zimbabwe.
Excellent.
Please do. And also peaceful, like Rwanda, come to Zimbabwe. So we need to work together because we've got a lot in common. This is the third leg, and we're going to have a fourth leg next year in Zimbabwe. So we're inviting all participants to come through. As I alluded to my colleagues, I think when the gorilla naming ceremony happens, I think this time we also want to see some of them being named in Shona and Ndebele to strengthen our partnership. But equally, when they come to Zimbabwe, we've got a lot waiting for them in terms of tourism. As I said also, double counting is allowed in tourists. When a tourist comes here, it doesn't stop him to go into Zimbabwe. When a tourist comes to Zimbabwe, it doesn't stop him or her to come to Rwanda. So let's make sure that we take advantage of those synergies by the aeroplanes that we have to make sure that we grow tourism, we grow trade, and we grow investments between our two countries.
In culture and entertainment, Rwanda's fine dining scene seamlessly blends with music, creating a soulful, unique experience that showcases the country's vibrant culture.
Obviously, this is a business that is very hard to do in a country where we don't manufacture a lot of the products. But the more challenging it is, the more interesting it makes it as well for our clients, where they like to taste or have something that they cannot usually find around everywhere. So that makes it a bit more viable for clients who are looking to taste something without having to fly, thousands of miles out of the country or out of the continent just to taste that.
So the truth is, there are a lot of ingredients, like Portuguese food is a lot of fresh cooking. We try to not import as much as possible, use as local as possible, work with farmers, talk to them, and try to find common ground to be able to get the best possible products. But of course, we do have to import shrimp and etc. But we are working to find better solutions for that.
I love the tagliatelle carbonara here. I eat here a lot. The pizzas are good, the chicken's good, the steak's good, everything is very good here.
I have one favorite thing here. It's called frango. They have like grilled chicken here. This is one of my favorite, and of course pizzas as well. It's like great.
Yeah, I would say so far I think there's a big focus on the quality of the artistic expression of the food and also the taste. They're very attention to detail here, so that's what I enjoy. When it comes to any kind of restaurant business, that's number one priority. So the staff looks very friendly. The waitresses and servers look very friendly here.
I think this is a brilliant way for us to come hand in hand to collaborate and provide a stage for each other. Whereas they provide us with their artistic views, they provide us with their talents. They are the people that bring in people sometimes to our restaurant. And so they're very important to us, and we are very important to them at the same time. So I believe it's a very fruitful type of partnership.
Tonight we have a very exciting event. So we have so far where Joy Blake, a jazz singer, is going to perform tonight.
Collaboration with Sood came about because I'm doing a SOFR concert. SOFR is like an organization that does small concerts all around the world in different places. So depending on where you are, you could look up a SOFR show and go. And usually they're going to be good artists, not so famous ones, but good music anyway. Different location gives you different energy. It'll bring, the people that come will come because of the energy, and they'll bring that energy to the performance. If you're in a theater, then people, they have a different kind of manner, so it brings another kind of energy to the room.
It's super exciting because they'll bring a different vibe and energy to the place, and they'll bring different clients also. that will get to know the place, that will enjoy our food, will enjoy our pool, enjoy our drinks. So yeah, it's super exciting to do partnerships this way.
I'm just looking forward to having fun. I don't really think of it as performing. I think of it as sharing. I think that it's really important to have music, live music in the community in general. It's the way that people come together and they create community and they get to enjoy something that probably only happens one time. And it's a good way to feed yourself, you know, and so because you're feeding yourself with music, you're feeding your soul, it's good to feed your belly too. So it's always good to have some good food to go along with the good music.
And finally, Rwanda ended the year on high note, hosting the prestigious FIA Awards for the first time in Africa. The event was a resounding success, with 5-time world champion Max Verstappen crowned champion. And to top it off, Rwanda officially announced its bid to host a Formula One Grand Prix, firmly establishing itself on the global motorsport map.
For the last, couple of 3-4 years ago, really what we want to do is to grow motorsport from the grassroots and make sure that we develop it for long. So we have been in the past we have been just doing it for fun, like a gentleman's club meeting and racing. We usually have one category, which is rally, but now we're adding more categories, specifically focusing on the young age, so that we can make sure that we build drivers for the future, but also build the culture of motorsport in Rwanda. So the meeting we have here is the biggest meeting for the Motorsport Federation. So it has been a couple of days since Monday, having regional meetings and partners meeting. And on Friday, we'll have the General Assembly that brings together all the members from the globe. And this, we're talking about more than 100 countries and 245 members. So this is where all the decisions, all the discussions about the future of motorsport and mobility are being taken. A couple of new announcements were made today, regarding car designs, regarding championship regulations. So this is where the motorsport is, I can say, is managed. So for us to be able to host this event, it really means a lot. There is, it's a statement of trust from the International Federation that our country can host such a big event, but also an encouragement to grow motorsport to another level, because trust is there, opportunities are there, so being chosen and being given this mission, because hosting is one thing, but also what is happening next is the bigger mission.
First of all, I want to congratulate Rwanda and Africa with this very important historical day, and of course FIA and its president, His Excellency Mohammed bin Suleiman. This is historical day. Why? Because last century, this is first time when it's happening in Africa, the General Assembly of FIA, and it's a big event. Regarding your question, why it's important, just to see the numbers of participants, we have more than 120 different countries participating today. It means that 120 media coverage, and you know that everything related with Formula One, with awards we will have tomorrow, big stars coming here. It's one of the best opportunity to position Rwanda and Africa internationally. The promotion is there, and we have in these days one of the biggest media coverage, and everything related with Formula One, sports today. That means that the best promotion. And Rwanda is one of the first African country, if it's not only one, who betted and supported and thought to promote tourism via football. Rwanda is the main partner of football club Arsenal, the partner of PSG, partner of Bayern Munich, and I want really to congratulate to positioning not only Rwanda but African continent internationally this innovative way.
I'm happy to formally announce that Rwanda is bidding to bring the thrill of racing back to Africa by hosting Formula One Grand Prix. A big thank you to Stefano Domenicali and the entire team at Formula One for the good progress in our discussions so far. I assure you that we are approaching this opportunity with the seriousness and commitment which it deserves. Together, we will build something we can all be proud of.
One of the key missions of the President to expand motorsport globally, and clearly at the moment Africa is very underrepresented in motorsport, and I think to get all the world champions, all the award winners, all the delegates from the whole world to come to this place here to see that such an event can be organized, I think is highly significant, and it can be a first step for bigger events in the future.
You guys are doing great, and they continuously try to promote more and more motorsport and competition overall over the whole Africa. And I think Rwanda as well is keen to invest more money into facilities to launch different motorsport activities, and that's great to see. We had some cool lunch today with the president of the Federation, Motorsport Federation, and there are lots of nice projects, so looking forward to it.
I'm excited for Formula One to maybe come here in the future, because we can expand our fans and have a lot more people supporting us, and hopefully inspire the generation of kids here to join motorsport, to be a driver or to be in Formula One. But a new place for us is something that's always very exciting, so I'm looking forward to it.
When I'm here, look, I want to come many more times, you know. It's just we have to, we're in the process of discussing some business right now. Your leadership here is outstanding because he has a heart for young people, and what he wants to do is create opportunity for young people. I have some ideas on how to get that done. And so we're in preliminary discussions about that. But this place is open for business. It's open for investments.
It's the first time I come here, and people have been very respectful, have been very welcoming. So that's first of all, it's an amazing thing, because I don't like to be in places where you don't feel welcome. And here has been one of the places I felt that was one of the most special things about Rwanda. So yeah, I came here with my family, and we are already having a good time, and I'm definitely planning to come back at some point, just to visit the place, just to visit the country, to learn a little bit more about the culture, and spend a bit of time.
I mean, it's great. It's a completely new country for me. It's the first time I come here, and I was very excited. I've unfortunately got very little time to actually visit the country, but I will come back for sure. And it's been a really nice event so far, and I'm really looking forward to the rest of the evening.
Great, you know, I'm very happy to be here. It's great. Of course, unfortunately, we don't have a lot of time to be here. It's still very busy for us at the end of the season, but it's all looking fantastic.
Well, thank you for watching the Doing Business in Rwanda 2024 highlights. Remember, you can catch all these episodes on our website at cnbcafrica.com. There's much more to look forward to in 2025. I'm Eric Siaka, and I'll see you soon.